This is a classic blues and R&B podcast. We got a guest tonight, Mr. Nate Evans, a member of the Temptations, the Impressions. He's been around doing his things. He has a new song coming out. We're going to play it for you later on here in the program. He's going to join us here in this first hour on classic blues and R&B. We hope that you'll enjoy the program. We try to do our best to bring you the best in American music from right here in middle America. You know, Canada's to the north, Mexico to the south. So we in the middle of North America, in the great continent here, doing our thing as we do every Saturday night. Don't forget the great menu that you just heard. I forgot, my lady told me to add some doggone macaroni to that menu, and I like macaroni too. Not mac and cheese, but macaroni. Yeah, I'm from the great state of Mississippi, so I love that good stuff down there. Anyway, how you doing, Mr. Evans?
I'm doing good. Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I hear you now, Mr. Evans. You doing all right?
I'm doing wonderful.
Well, I want to thank you for joining us here tonight. I hope you stick with us for a little while.
I'll be here.
All right. Okay, then I tell you what, if you be here, we're going to chat with you. We're going to play some of your music and chat with you.
Good enough.
How you doing, Brother Nate Evans? Welcome to the program, son.
Man. I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
Good. What bring you to town?
Well, I'm from this area. You know, I grew up in Gary, Indiana.
Okay.
And started singing in Gary, Indiana over there and came to Chicago and saw what was happening. And, man, I went crazy, you know, because back in the day, in the late 60s, early 70s, we had it. I mean, they had it going on. I had a little band in Gary, Indiana.
Okay.
But after I came over here and watched, who did I see? Otis Clay.
Okay.
Otis Clay, man. I saw Otis Clay up there. Look here. I knew what I had to do from then on.
Yeah. I was going to be a guest eventually on this program.
Otis.
Yeah, he said he would be here, and I'd be glad to have him too, you know.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about you, who you are, Nate.
Well, as I said, you know, I was a promoter from Gary, Indiana, and I was Purvis Man. In fact, he used to help me a lot when I first started. I was around 20, I guess, you know, and I'd have a lot of acts after he finished with him at the Burning Spear.
Okay.
Ruby Andrews, you know, Johnny Taylor, Walter Jackson, all those guys, you know.
Yeah.
And
the great Walter Jackson.
Yes, Sir Walter Jackson.
Yeah, the hell of a voice. No question about it.
And I came over one night to meet Jackie Wilson. Span introduced me to him. I got him over for a show, and we became great friends and some more shows. And when he got sick, I organized a reception for him, you know, to get money for his family and everything. And a lot of people here, the Shy-Lights, Walter Jackson, Tyrone Davis, the Scott Brothers, a lot of people came out for the show. And I wanted to get the Impressions on the show. But Curtis had just left the group, and they were looking for another singer. So somebody suggested, you know, that I audition. And I auditioned, and that was the start of everything.
So you were with the Impressions for a while, huh?
Yeah, Fred and Sam and Reggie and
Okay.
myself.
Yeah, okay. And then you also, I saw somewhere you were with the Impressions at one time? Are you with the Impressions now or what?
No, I'm not with the Impressions
Not
now.
the Impressions, I mean the Temptations.
Yeah, the Temptations.
Yes.
Let me tell you what happened on that.
Yeah,
I got a call one night from Eddie Kendricks. I was in San Francisco. Eddie says, "Hey, because Eddie and I were hanging buddies, you know," and Eddie said, "You want to join the Temptations?" I said, "What?" He said, "You want to get with the Temptations?" Now, at that time, he wasn't with the Temptations, so I'm going.
Give me a job at somebody else's place.
Yeah, I'm going, you know, they're my buddies. Olive Woodson was like my brother, you know, and so he was with the group at the time, and I said, what Temptations? He said, you, me, David Ruffin, Dennis Edwards.
Okay.
I said, David Ruffin, because like I said, I knew these guys already.
Yeah.
So I joined them, and we became the second group, and you know, we just kept on working. They just decided to get back together, you know, against Otis's wishes, I'm sure.
Okay. Now, do you have anything to do with them today at all?
Yeah, I have after David Ruffin died and Eddie Kendricks died, Dennis Edwards and I kept going. Mm-hmm. We replaced them and we kept going. And then Dennis Edwards, he got sick, and I took over and put some more guys together, and we try to keep the Temptations' name alive and well. So we have Nate Evans and the Temptations Revue tribute.
So you're still doing it?
Oh, yeah.
With some of the original Temptations, that's what you're saying? And,
well, Dennis, there are no more original Temptations.
Well, I mean, Dennis, that's what I'm saying. You're with the Dennis group, with Dennis.
Yeah, I was with Dennis, but Dennis got, like I said, he got sick.
He's no longer performing.
No, no, Dennis is performing. He came back alive, but I had the group by then, so we both have groups now. And so to keep from chasing behind them, I bought a theater down in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, the Nate Evans Theater down there in Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge. And we work down there a lot, and we work in Vegas a lot, and it's been fun. We travel the world a lot, and Dennis and I are great friends.
That's good.
Otis and I haven't spoke on the subject yet, but I'm sure he's okay with it because, we all try to keep the sound of the Temptations alive and well.
Well, that's good. That's a good thing. I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to listen to your record. Where are you from? We'll talk a little bit more about you when we come back.
When you said where I'm from, you mean born or raised?
Yeah, you're from Alabama now, right?
I was born in Mobile, Alabama, raised in Gary, Neal.
Yeah, that's what I thought you said something about Alabama down on the coast down there. Yeah, Mobile Bay.
Yeah, I know all about
it. Yeah, okay. All right, we're going to listen to this cut from Nate here on AM 1690, Classic Blues and R&B.
Talking about baby, well, baby mean everything to me. See, I got the best in baby, and I love talking about, 'cause she brings out the best in me. So I picture a rose in a field of daisies. Well, shining bright when the darkness falls, the shades are soft. The sun seems to wait on baby in the morning. And oh, baby don't smile, then the sun don't shine in all people's eyes. I'm just so much into baby. Baby mean the world to me. Can't you see? Oh, that's enough to pacify me. Oh, even when she's gone, all the feeling lingers on. I love talking about baby. Baby mean the world to me. Can't you see? Oh, so much in love with baby. Every night I hurry myself to sleep, just to give my soul a treat. I love your smile, your sparkling eyes. Though we've been together, girl, for such a short time, I still love to scream and shout, walk and
You heard Nate Evans, our studio guest here, talking about Baby. Well, he's talking about Baby too, so I guess. Anyway, here on Classic Blues and R&B, we're back. So tell us a little bit more about what's going on with Nate Evans.
Well, we are working very hard right now, trying to put a motion picture together on the life of Jackie Wilson.
Okay.
Jackie was called Jackie Wilson, the Man, the Music, and the Mob.
Mm-hmm.
And I own the rights. My wife and I own the rights to Jackie's life story. We got it from the family and everything, and we're trying to pull it all together. We've been in the works for a while with this. Personally, I'd like to see Blair Underwood play Jackie Wilson. That's my.
He probably could do a pretty good job.
Yeah, Blair would do a great job. Then there was talk about Terrence Howard, but right now it's all up in the air. Jackie's one of those people whose story should be told.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So we're trying to pull it together. He was a great star.
Why did you call it Jackie and the Mob? Now, you don't want the mob part, you just want Jackie.
Well, the reason is because Jackie his career was always guarded by the mob. He was always in the mob. There was no secret. He couldn't be on RCA or Motown or Warner Brothers or anything like that, or Columbia, because he had to stay on Brunswick Records, which was owned by, the people in New York.
You see, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
all I know is I like Jackie Wilson. He was a hell of a doggone entertainer.
He was a great entertainer, and he was, he was Mr. Excitement. But everything he did was confined to that, and that's just the way it was with him.
Oh, really? How did that happen? I mean, how did he? I don't know. You may know.
He lived in. He was in a gang called the Shakers Gang in Detroit, and a guy named Al Green, not the Al Green we know, a guy named Al Green had a club that, and he was managing Laverne Baker.
Okay.
And Jackie would come by, Jackie, Little Willie John, Levi Stubbs, and they would be on the talent shows that he had there. And they decided to give Jackie a break after he left the Dominoes. It's a long story, but this guy, Al Green, was very well connected. And they ended up with the gangsters, and that's the way it was.
Yeah, I know you guys had a hell of a gangster in Detroit. The Purple Gang, they tell me they were nothing but a bunch of uncultured thugs.
Well, the Purple Gang was a different kind of gang.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, the Shakers was a street gang.
I know, but that's what I'm saying.
Was gangsters.
Gang, I know that. That's what I'm saying. They said they were really uncultured.
Yeah, they were different.
I think their name was Gold or something. Two brothers, I think. Gold brothers or something.
Yeah, they were dangerous.
Do you think that had anything to do with his untimely death? Falling off stage?
No. This is before Jackie became a star, when they had Murder Incorporated and Purple Gang and stuff like that. No, Jackie he was on another level of it. He had no guns and things.
Yeah, no, I didn't mean that. I mean, because they supposedly fell off stage, right? Or did he? What happened to him?
Well, when he
you hear different stories. So
he would Jackie would actually faint while he was performing. I mean, he threw so much into it.
I know the chicks loved him.
Yeah,
I saw him down in Jackson a couple of times. Tell you, and he was very fan friendly.
Jackie was a friendly person. He had a bad temper. But he was a friendly person. He was a nice person. The first time I met him, I wanted him to come to Gary, Indiana at the Elks Club for $500. He almost hurt himself laughing at me. But he was the kind of guy that would give you a break. Walter Jackson was like that. Eddie Kendricks was like that, Curtis Mayfield was like that, Some of these guys were just...
I hope you do make that movie, because I think it would be a movie worth making.
We're trying, man. We're just going to set Jackie's life in with the gangsters, because now Jackie's money was the money that funded Motown.
Okay.
Because Berry Gordy started writing songs before he opened Motown, and the songs that hit was Jackie's song, Repeat, Lonely Teardrops. That is why, all that's dogging around. All that was all that was Berry Gordy. So he took that money, invested it into Motown, and made it. But Jackie, who was a friend of Berry's, could not be on Motown because he was on Brunswick, and he couldn't move. Yeah. And that's how it was in them days.
Yeah, hell of a story. You're right. Yeah. I'll get back to a little bit more music. We'll talk a little bit more with Mr. Nate Evans. You hear the richness of American pop culture, American music, some of the great stuff here. And this is why classic blues is why you have guys like this on, because they know.
Need to be old.
well, not only that, not only that. Speaking of, I guess everybody trying to find out something. Michael got something, so everybody trying to get a little piece of it. Have you filed your suit yet, Zach?
No, but I plan on it.
I figured you did. I mean, you and Mr. Fletcher, I can see y'all now laying in the wings back there getting ready to file a suit. Yeah, what did you do? You didn't do anything to deserve it, so leave the boy alone. Let him go.
But I was thinking we might want to come to Michael after the top of the hour because it's a little short for a Thriller.
Okay, then we'll do something else then. You got something over there we can do?
Got some Jackie Wilson. Since
I'll
he
do
was
it. Yeah,
top.
Jackie, that's a very good take us to the top of the hour. Here we go. Classic blues and R&B, folks. Jackie Wilson.
Man, look at that. There's a cute little girl standing in the corner. Screwed a little thing standing way over yonder. Crazy little girl sitting in the row. And everywhere I look, I see more cute little girls. Oh yeah, cute little girls. I'm telling you, I've never seen so many cute little girls. For every cute little girl that I kiss, I can see a million more that I miss. For every sweet thing that I have squeezed, I can see 100 I would like to tease. I've never seen so many cute little girls. But there's a cute little girl in the north, cute little things in the south, crazy little girls in the east, a pretty little girl in the west. No, I've never seen so many cute little girls. Oh, there's a cute little girl and she's sitting in the corner, swinging little things, standing way over yonder. Pretty little girl sitting in the row, and everywhere I look I see more cute little girls. Oh yeah, cute little girls. I'm telling you, I've never seen so many cute little girls. No, never seen quite so many cute little girls. Oh, that's alright. Man, look there. So many cute little girls.
Studio guest is Nate Evans. He sung with those two groups, The Impressions and The Temptations. You enjoyed working with both of them, obviously, right?
Oh, yeah.
Both had a
fun.
different style.
Yeah. Impressions were conservative.
Yeah, I figured they were a little bit
You know.
laid back.
Yeah, they were a little cooler.
Yeah.
Temptations was full of fire.
Yeah. Do you keep up with any of the Impressions today?
Oh yeah.
Well, right.
Reggie Torian, I talk to all the time. Fred Cash.
Okay.
Sam Gooden, we are still friends.
Good,
and
good.
other guys I sang with in the Temptations are basically gone. All the friends,
Right.
Eddie and David and Ollie Woodson. Those
Yeah,
were the,
right,
and,
right.
and Melvin. Those were the closer.
Yeah.
Richard Street. So they were all close to me. So
Yeah. That was good groups, good music right out of here. And the great Curtis Mayfield. Yeah. How you enjoy working with Curtis? Great, huh?
I love working with Curtis. Curtis was a musical genius.
Yes.
Curtis' mind was only the
Yes.
thing about Curtis. His mind was always on making music.
Yeah.
And a lot of us, our minds were on, fun and
Looking
girls,
good and all that
girls
stuff.
chasing girls. Curtis would be down in the basement, writing a song, trying to compose something.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else is out having a good time.
Yeah. But no, I mean, listening to his music, man, his music have withstood the time,
doubt.
and it's
No doubt.
still here, still going strong, and I still enjoy it, really.
It's all about feel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Some of the things that Curtis Mayfield sing, like "The Real Me,"
Mm-hmm.
Can you see the real me? It just, he cries from his heart.
Yeah.
Can you see the real me?
Yeah.
And just some of his songs are just so heart wrenching.
Oh, yeah, definitely. In fact, that song you're listening to now is Curtis.
Oh yeah, I always know Curtis when I hear him.
Yeah, don't say nothing. Talking about anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was listening to that record, you know. I said, actually, I sort of like this. And so I thought using it as a bed here, you know, theme music here for the show, I'm bringing it in as a bed.
Some cats I've known in this business, they like the Spaniels. The
like
Spaniels was never a group that could be duplicated. You never, you know,
yeah.
I don't think anybody going to duplicate the Dales. You can forget that. That's not going to happen, you know.
That's right, they did have sound.
Some people are just so fantastic, and Curtis Mayfield is one of those acts.
Yeah. What else you want to tell us about Nate Evans and his, with the impressions and the Temptation?
Well, as I said, with the Temptations, you know, all the Temptations, the only one left original is Otis Williams. And we're all playing tribute to the Temptations.
Yeah.
All the Temptations are gone. Melvin, Otis, the original guys are gone. The only original left is Otis Williams. So Otis has a group, Dennis has a group, and I have a group.
Well, who got the best group?
You would ask me that already. Of course, we got the best group. What do you mean? What kind of question is that? Well, you know, I tell you honestly, Dennis Edwards is the only one out here who has the sound.
He definitely had sound.
He
had a lot of soul on that.
You know, I didn't sing on those hit records, and Dennis did, and his sound is still here.
Yeah.
If something happens to Dennis, the sound would be gone, you know. But we're all dancing and singing, and we're all playing tribute. Dennis got 4 guys with him. Otis has 4 with him. I have 4 with me, and we're all paying tribute. The only difference is Otis was actually there, Dennis was there, and I was there with Dennis and Eddie and David, of course.
You did record with him?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You know, somebody's going to ask you about that. Now, are you the lead singer or what? Oh no.
In my group, or when I was with
him? In your group.
In my group, yes, I'm one of the lead singers.
Okay. Did you ever lead anything with the other guys?
Yeah, with Eddie them. When if you're in a group with Eddie, David, and Dennis, then the only person left is Paul. So I sang Paul's songs. You know, like "Don't Look Back."
Yeah, that was a hell of a song. I don't care. That, to me, was one of the greatest songs.
Don't Look Back.
Yes, I tell you, that's a lot. He sung with a lot of feeling on that song.
Paul had a lot of feel. He had a lot of feel. Don't look back. Who you gonna run to?
Yeah.
And for once in my life, it's just you know.
Yeah, he's one of those. He just had that. He a great feeling. You know, I can feel it that he did this out of his heart. You know, yes,
he did.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna move along here. You can reach us, folks, at 773-591-169, or you going to the request line. We're gonna play my man Nate Evans, and we're going to get some of the request line. You want to do that? Okay. Tell you what we're gonna do. Let me hear that Joe Tex. I tell you what, Nate Evans and then Joe Tex ain't gonna dance or bump with no big fat woman and the gospel clefs and all the other stuff. As we roll right along here on Sunday morning on AM 1690, classic blues. Don't forget, folks, classic blues and R&B. listening to the classic blues and R&B here on AM 1690. Sir Henry Cheatham, along with my man Zach. He's over on the other side spinning the dial. He's the one who's doing all this stuff. You know, he's the one who getting all these requests and all of the other stuff and putting it up here for me to check it out. Good music. You're doing all right, Zach. You're doing all right. Not that, no, don't get beside yourself now.
No, my head's already big enough.
Yeah, I know. Next thing I know, you want to put some Lil Wayne in there. Lil Wayne going to come out of one of them drones, I guess. Anyway, you just heard. And, of course, Nate Evans, Come On and Go With Me. That's the big shot, the one who passed away. Teddy Pendergrass.
That's the man.
Yeah, Teddy Pendergrass. Yes, sir. Well, it's amazing what turns may happen, you know, as we ride along this road, you know.
Yes, that's true.
You know, it's just, yeah, but anyway.
But remember now, that's the 2013 rendition.
Yeah. No. I'm just saying, I was thinking about Teddy at that point, you know, how we, you know, he ended up, he got hurt and, you know, just one of those things, you know, and he continued to live until he passed away, of course. He was telling me during the music here, he was telling me about some of the guys that you, you know, like McFadden and Whitehead and somebody else. You talking about Joe Tex. How did that? You were telling me about how Joe Tex told you about the big fat old woman.
Big fat old woman. He didn't say she was old.
He just said big fat woman.
He said she was big and fat, but he didn't say she was old.
Yeah.
No, we were at the Scarlett O'Hara in Atlanta Underground.
Yeah.
Atlanta Underground, the Impressions. And Joe came to see us, you know, and we were all friends. And he and Fred Cash started laughing and talking about his last skinny legs and all and things like that. You know, Joe went to that type of singing. And we were laughing about it. Joe said, well, you haven't seen anything yet. You wait till the next one come out. So somebody said, what is it called, Joe? Joe said, I ain't going to dance, I ain't going to bump no more with a big fat woman. So, you know, I know the bump was out and everybody was bumping. So Joe got in on it. So we laughed about it. About 2 months later, ain't gonna bump no more anymore with a big fat woman. Yeah, with a big fat woman, and became a #1 record. You know, I was so happy I couldn't believe it. Joe had me laughing. He keeps me laughing. He kept me laughing all the time.
Yeah, and you were telling one about McFadden and Whitehead, you know?
Same way with him. They had decided they had written so many records for the OJs and Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes and all of the other Philadelphia artists. And they had some gripe going, you know, some personal gripe going with the company at the time.
Yeah.
And I remember John Whitehead said, well, the next record that we write, we're going to do it ourselves. Well, I started laughing because I know John Whitehead and Gene McFadden can't sing. So what are you talking about? We laughed it off. Again, 2-3 months later, that song come out.
Yeah.
Ain't no stopping us now. And it was one of the biggest records in the country ever.
Right, and it still goes as
still going on.
Colored folks plays it as an anthem. Hey, no, let us get on the roll on say, no, yes.
Yeah, we do that when we're looking for a job.
And you were talking about Albert now. How did that come about?
Albert?
Yeah, Greg Abbott, you know.
Gregory Abbott.
Abbott, yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I knew Gregory Abbott. He was a writer for Billboard magazine in the 70s when I was with the Impressions, and we had an opportunity to be interviewed by him. And then a few years later, he comes out with this song, Shake Her Down.
Yeah,
Girl,
Shake You Down, yeah,
Girl,
something
I'm
like
gonna
that.
Shake You Down.
Yeah.
And I was so shocked because I didn't even know he was a singer. And I looked up and there he was. So you never know, people are going to come out with something that surprise you good. I haven't heard from him since, He just wanted to let us know he could do it.
Right, yeah, like Isaac Hayes. Some writers do turn out to do quite well,
Isaac Hayes was a phenomenon.
Right on.
He was the first rapper.
Yeah, he did rap.
Yeah, he had the sunglasses.
I can't call him the first. I got to get at the Cab Calloway or some of those guys back there. They were really rap.
Well, there were guys, but think about it. For the bald head, Ike was first.
Oh, yes.
The sunglasses, Ike was first.
Yeah,
the jewelry,
yeah.
Ike was first.
Bare chest
talking,
and all, yeah.
Talking first before
yeah.
he started singing.
Yeah.
Ike was first.
He was something else, you know. Yep. Brother James, I tell you what, you don't have to head for the hills, brother. Because you will not hear him. You know, like I said, Zach tried to, I'm just kidding about that. Zach wouldn't do that. Would you do? You wouldn't do that, would you, Zach?
No, I wouldn't do that. I don't want him to head for the Blueberry Hills.
That's right. I don't want him to head for the hills. We're gonna play Revolution for you too, James. It's coming up here. But anyway, I was just looking at this piece here. You know, Quincy Jones, as I told you before, sued Michael Jackson estate, claiming he is owed millions in royalties and production fees of some of the superstar's greatest hits. Jones filed a suit yesterday in Los Angeles for seeking at least $10 million from the singer's estate and Sony Music Entertainment, claiming the entities improperly re-edited songs to deprive him of royalties and production fees. The music has been used in the film This Is It in a pair of Cirque du Soleil shows based on the King of Pop songs, the lawsuit stated. Well, the producer also worked with Michael, you know, many things. You know, we're going to play Thriller sometime tonight. That was one that Quincy did. He did that one, Thriller, I'm Bad, you know, Bad and all the rest of that stuff. But anyway, I don't know. Give me $1 million. I think I'd sue Michael. Hell, you know, I'm gonna sue him for dying on us. Yeah. But anyway, back to more music. You ready? You ready to hit Thriller? I tell you, you want to hit Thriller? Okay. All right. You listen to classic blues and R&B here on AM 1690, WVON. James, and I guarantee you, we're gonna have the revolution for you coming out of the break.
The talk of Chicago and the voice of the nation is 1690 WVON, Berwyn, Chicago.
All right, as we travel along here on another Saturday night, Sunday morning, classic blues and R&B here on AM 1690. So glad you could join us. Hope you'll be here again next Saturday night. Hell, I might not be here. I don't know. You gonna let me in next week, Jay?
It's up to Fletcher.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he is chopping heads, isn't he? No telling what he might or might not do, you know. And we'll be back again next Saturday night, 11 p.m. So hopefully you'll be right back up in here with us on Classic Blues and R&B. We're here every Saturday night, live or in color or substituted by something, you know, doing our thing. Mr. Zach, Mr. Fletcher, Daryl, myself, and the whole rest of the gang. You can get us at WVON.com. Go to WVON.com. You can also get us at iHeartRadio. Just download the iHeart app. You can take that along with you on your smartphone or your, whatever the hell they call that thing, your tablet, all of that. So you have no reason for not keeping up with this great American music. I got guests in the studio, so therefore I'm not reading some of the stuff that I'm going to read here. But, you know, hey, y'all, you know my message. You know. Hey, you know where I stand. I'm a great all-American boy. Zach, what are you?
I'm a great African-American boy.
Oh, he's a great African. Okay, I'm an American boy. Colored. I'm a great colored American boy. I'm a great boy. Yeah. Listen to Classic Blues and R&B here on AM 1690 WVON. Sir Henry Cheatham here along with man Greg and Mr. Fletcher. Listen to Classic Blues and R&B. We're here every Saturday night. Want to say something else, Nate? We're getting ready to wrap it up around here.
Well, I'm glad, that you had me on the show. I appreciate this. This is the first time I've been in Chicago. Last time I was in Chicago, I was with The Temptation. We were here performing. Okay. And I come to Gary because, it's my hometown, I don't come here. It's too cold, man. It's too cold.
Oh, damn mercy. I'm a Southern boy myself, and I tolerate.
Man, it's cold. But I love Chicago, and this is new for me, you know, being on VON, because we were coming through the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, and VON was a station, Jack.
It was still a station.
Yeah,
and
well, I remember all the guys, man, Span and Youngblood and everybody, you know. So this is history. As I walk around the studio and look at all the pictures, man, you got some pictures on the wall that are just great.
Yeah, they do.
The picture of Joe Louis and Ali and Sugar Ray. Oh, man, I'd love to have that picture.
All three great champions.
But thank you for having me.
Yeah, and I appreciate you coming. I hope you get that piece together with on the Jackie Wilson story. I mean, that's an excellent piece, man. I think it's a subject of worth being
well, we have a script for it already. We have
That's
a script,
great.
and we have some people looking at it and talking to some people about it, because the difference in this movie and any other movie like that is that this is basically a musical gangster movie, not like Cotton Club, but you know, R&B in the gangster world.
All right, well, that's good. Okay, well, I look forward to seeing it one day. Hopefully it would get done somewhere in the near future. I know you guys got some deep pockets.
Thank you, Sir Henry. I appreciate it, man. I'll be back, man.
I appreciate it. Okay, come on back anytime. Just
Okay,
give me a
man.
shout.
Okay.
Thanks for joining our podcast here on our YouTube channel. Subscribe to us at Henry CB 6175. Follow us on Twitter at WVON Henry, and like our Facebook page at Classic Blues and R&B.